everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got the sound system demo of the 2022 Rolls-Royce Phantom and its 18-speaker Bespoke audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at audio adjustments, controls, inputs, speaker locations, then we're going to head out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And I recommend listening with headphones so you can hear exactly what I hear in the driver's seat. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. It doesn't get any better than this, ladies and gentlemen, the Rolls-Royce Phantom. We've been wanting to cover one of these for a long time, and we finally get the opportunity. Thank you to Rolls-Royce for giving us a little bit of time with the car here. Look at this absolutely gorgeous spec. It's going to be one of my longest walk-arounds just because this thing is so immense. But no expenses are spared for making this the ultimate car for driving, sitting in, being in, experiencing. If you do want to see more on the Phantom, we don't have too much more to give you, but I'll throw the links in the description to our other Rolls-Royce audio tests and reviews. And again, let's enjoy. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed wave files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory defaults, so let's take a look at those now. Very nicely executed infotainment screen here in the Rolls-Royce, and it's all controlled through this center rotary knob. You have the Spirit of Ecstasy there that stays in place, and you rotate around, keeps the screen entirely free from fingerprints, and it's very easy to use. I'm going to leave the media screen and go to the menu and come over here to my vehicle, system settings, tone. And that's where we're greeted with the first option being Rolls-Royce Bespoke Audio. Because this is the 18-speaker Bespoke system, you have two audio modes, Studio and Expanded. Rolls-Royce very intentionally calibrated both of these modes to give you either more of a pure, true to recording studio experience, or a little bit more of an expanded 3D surround sound experience. So let's go through both of those. Unlike many other vehicles I've tested, I actually quite like the expanded mode. It does sound more fulfilling, more enriched, but it doesn't sound hollow like a lot of the other surround modes do in other vehicles. We're going to leave it in studio for most of this test because that is going to be the most accurate and true to recording for our tracks that we test in every vehicle, but I'll throw it into expanded a little bit as we're going. Below that, you have a 9-band equalizer, which I find very important in any sort of luxury vehicle system. You can tweak individual frequencies right here, starting with the bass below 100 hertz and then all the way up into the treble. You got 10,000 hertz right there, and then even above that. So you can really fine-tune the audio exactly how you prefer, day-to-day, song-to-song, or user-to-user. Then below that, you have a little bit more standard treble and bass adjustments. As the music picks up, I'll go through those. Front, rear, left, right, fader, and balance, and that is about it. A little bit surprising not to see any dedicated rear sort of sound modes, audio modes, but I bet you it's because Rolls-Royce has tuned this to sound good from every seat at all times, so you don't really need to focus the audio any specific way. Let's go through treble and bass. Very broad range of adjustability right there. And that is it for audio adjustments. For audio controls in the Rolls-Royce Phantom, you have a nice volume knob here, perfectly situated between the driver and passenger up front. Very nice quality clicks. Listen to this. Very solid control there. You also have volume on the right side of the steering wheel and some adjustments in the rear, of course. For track selection, you have two tuning buttons right there. You can use the rotary knob if you're in the proper screen, if you're on the media screen over here, and you can use a steering wheel to scroll through or click through as well. For audio inputs in the Phantom, you have your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, a disc player, something you don't see too often anymore, USB-A, Bluetooth, and a screen mirroring function where you can actually hook up your device to mirror and sort of cast the music that you have going on there. What does that mean you're missing? Well, there's no 3.5mm auxiliary input jack for hi-fi media, and there is no USB Type-C. Not the end of the world, most devices still use Type-A, and the CarPlay and Android Auto. Speaker locations. Now, Rolls-Royce has very finely tuned speakers in very specific places, and they're very high quality. They don't throw a ton of speakers at you because more is definitely not always better when it comes to sound quality. Starting in the left here, you've got mid-range there, 1, tweeter 2, under the seat subwoofer 3, 4, 5 mid-range and tweeter up there, 6, 7, 8 over on the right side, coming into the back, 9, 10, 11, 12 in the other door, 13, 14, 15, 16 mid-range tweeters, and then there's actually 2 exciter speakers in the roof in the Bespoke system that will turn the entire roof into a resonator and add to sort of a tweeter high-end treble sound in there. This wouldn't be a proper review of a Phantom without checking out the backseat audio as well. So let's hop back there. And we come in back here. I'm hoping the glare isn't too bad, but you've got your own screen back here on either seat, and it operates very similarly to how the front screen would. Now, it is important to note that I don't have access to the same USB drives up there, it doesn't seem. So I'm trying to see how I can plug in a USB drive into here in order to get my USB audio. I'm sure there are USB ports. It's just a matter of finding them and getting them on. And when I turned this screen on, unfortunately, it stopped the music from the front. Maybe I can just tune up into that one. No USB audio connected. All right, I'm sure there's a USB port somewhere back here that we could use, but I can't monopolize a ton of time with this car. But with those screens away, we can at least listen to some of this music, so I'll turn it up just for a little bit, and we can experience what it sounds like back here. Still a very full sound, and surprisingly, even though those subwoofers come from up in front of the driver right there, you still get quite a good amount of bass in the back. Okay, that's going to wrap us up here statically, and I'm actually going to listen to a few of our demo tracks here static because we don't have a ton of opportunity to drive the car, and I want to make sure to get through all of our test songs. So I'm going to get started with it right now, and then after a song or two, I'll move my way out onto the road, and we'll get a little driving experience. Power, precision, and silence are the 3 trademarks of this system. And this system, and just like the one we tested in the Cullinan, you have to have the power to move you in the music. You have to feel the music, and they do a really great job with having these custom-made subwoofer cavities below the seats in order to really engulf you in the music. It's not a gimmick. It's nothing like, no shade on BMW, but the new exciters that they're putting in the seats there, and Mercedes is doing a similar sort of thing. Rolls-Royce is like, no, you don't need to create artificial bass feel like that. Let's make it real. Let's give you real subwoofers to do that. And when you listen to a song like this, you feel moved by the music. The beat is going with you, and it sounds excellent. And then the precision from these speakers, I'm hearing the exact proper sounds of every single instrument. Even though it's not a super impressive speaker count, the quality of the speakers and the sound that's coming out of them is what matters. And then the silence. When you drive a car like this, the fact that I'm accelerating and we don't hear the engine making noise. We don't hear wind outside. We don't hear other cars. You don't hear that the HVAC is running right now to keep my camera cool. That way, in between every little note of music, when there needs to be silence, you're getting that. And that's what's important in the quality sound system. For this next song, we'll turn the bass all the way up and see how rumbly those windows get. Even at normal bass, I'm feeling it. Okay, all right. Very, very powerful. I do have to say, I'm hearing a little bit of sloppiness, a little bit of distortion. I'm sorry, Rolls. I gotta call it where it is. It's right about there, right? Here, you don't notice it. Right there, it's getting a little sloppy, and I don't think it's the subwoofer's fault. I think maybe just a little bit too much bass is being put through the mid-range speakers around the car, and it's creating that sound. So that's a little interesting. Wrapping up my thoughts on the 18-speaker Bespoke audio here in the Rolls-Royce Phantom. I could sit and listen to this audio system all day. I wish I had time to put on every song that I enjoy listening to across all genres and experience every little nuance of them. I've listened to these sample tracks probably between shooting and editing nearly 1,000 times. And there are elements of these songs that I picked up on that I'm like, man, I haven't heard that in a really long time, or I've never heard that. The bass effects, it's just really incredible. The whole thing, I'm really, really impressed. So no surprise that this is S tier sound system, one of the top I've ever reviewed. I'd love to spend more time with it, but I am very, very fortunate to at least get some time with it here and get to share it with all of you. So thank you all so much for supporting Daily Motor and tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this one. I wish I could say if you want to see more on the Phantom, check the link in the description. I am going to fit in a quick winding road video on the way back to HQ here, but thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.